I'll start it that way we can use whatever. So this week, Death of Comics. On this week's interview, we have Daniel Warren Johnson, who is the creator of, how would you call it, webcomic? I know.
Yeah, I feel like, whatever, webcomic, online graphic novel. whatever. It says webcomic on the website, so I guess we should call it a webcomic.
And he's the creator of Space Mullet, which if you go to www.space-mullet.com, do that.
Yes.
I suggest you start with the archives, because I know this week's post is kind of a spoiler right away. So
yeah, I'll say.
So I guess the first question, kind of the basic one, probably you get a lot, is like, what is the pitch, or how would you? I obviously read it when you post on Mondays and Thursdays, but to someone who hasn't read it, what is Space Mullet?
Oh man. Space Mullet is everything. Hold on, wait, no, I gotta get into like the elevator pitch mindset here. Okay, Space Mullet is a science fiction action adventure tale. You like mix like Bad Boys with like Starship Troopers, mixed with like Firefly, and that's basically what you have. I mean, if I'm gonna take an axe to all the things I love and make a creation that I want to see, that's what you can expect from Space Mullet.
I would guess, what was the first idea for it? That kind of, as you read it, I think the first issue, second issue, kind of like the contained story, and when you got to the third and fourth now, it's pretty much opened up into a lot bigger world, like a lot more going on, more characters, more layers.
What was happening? Like, I knew that I wanted to make, because I had just finished Mass Effect 3, and I really wanted to make my own stories and possibly do a comic, but I was kind of depressed because I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to create a story as epic and cool as like Mass Effect, because I mean the story is fantastic. So I was thinking, and I was like, okay, what if I like kind of think of it from the other way, whereas make it as small as possible. So it's like I'm not explaining anything. There's no real info dumping. It's just I'm throwing these characters into this world, and I'm not taking the time to explain it. And I mean, nobody's paying me to do it. It's just I make as many pages as I can, and I upload them every two times a week. And if I want to take like 5 pages to just explore a city, I can. It wouldn't necessarily serve the story well, but it allows me to world build at my own pace. And so that was really cool. That's kind of one of the reasons that I did this. Well, I have the time to world build. Why don't I just focus on the characters and then let the world kind of breathe on its own and kind of come to life? Because like I have like a little notebook that I carry with me everywhere I go. Not necessarily like a sketchbook, and I will take notes on new world building ideas like when I'm at a stoplight. And that'll tie into the characters' lives somehow, and I just figure out what the characters would react to it, and they kind of write themselves in that way. Mm-hmm. So instead of creating a huge world building in, I took like one loser of a character, my character with the mullet, Jonah, and the mustache, and I just kind of built out from him. So I guess that's kind of my thinking on it. I realized that if I was working on a book for somebody else or working with a writer, obviously you don't have the time and you have a page count and you need to make sure that you keep things in order and all that's all very restricting. But with what I'm doing, I mean, I'm just posting it online. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. You do that.
I feel like, I feel like with like digital comics too, when you're posting, 1 page or 2 pages a week or whatever, I feel like it kind of forces you to keep the story moving. Because, I mean, at the end of each page, or most of them, you have like a reason to come back for the next one.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, the story never, like, when you're reading a comic, obviously, they can use 4 pages for one conversation.
Right.
But with a webcomic, at least it seems like with this one, you're constantly, like, moving forward and getting to the next thing that's going to happen. Like, I think that's partly because, like, you're drawing it too. You probably want to draw some action as soon as possible. Like, just change it up. Like, watching Talking Heads for like 3 weeks.
Oh,
I don't think
dude,
that, it's tough.
Well, and that's the thing. I always get worried because I'm glad that you think that it moves well, because I don't think that it moves well for webcomic.
Really?
I mean, it's total long form. Like, I didn't design it to be like,
too, so.
I mean, I didn't design it to be a web comic, where it has like some sort of movement the end or some sort of cliffhanger. I made it. Basically, I've always wanted to make a comic since I was a kid, and something that I flipped through. And so I just made that, and the only way that I could afford to show it to people for free was to put it online. So any sort of webcomic, like marketing or things that I should be doing, I completely ignored and just did what I wanted to do as if it were a book, which might not be the wisest thing in the world, I don't know. But
you approach them as, like, you have them sectioned into issues. Is that for your own kind of stopgap? Or, because you said like, I agree with Ryan, like, I think it's so far it's been free-flowing, like.
I think it moves,
yeah.
For sure.
Cool.
Yeah, from page to page, I guess.
Well, that's good. That's good to hear. I'm always worried about that. I'm like, in like the updates, I'll like be typing, below the comic. I'll be like, I'm so sorry, action is coming soon, I promise.
Now you're drawing these all out. Like, I know with, I guess, kind of the webcomic format, I would always be worried. Like, some of your double-page spreads are pretty epic. And, like, do you worry about some of it being lost, viewing it in a browser? I mean, you're drawing them out. You're drawing them on pen and paper, right?
Yes.
Yes.
To all pen and paper. The only thing that's digital in Space Mullet is the dialogue balloons and the lettering, and the blue tone that you see. But yes, I do worry about that. And because I'm not very good with with websites and stuff like that. Like, I'm just using Comic Press. And Comic Press, it does not allow for you can't, there's only one way you can set up your page to show your comic page. And so basically what it takes, like what should be like a horizontal page, and what should be a vertical page, basically smashes my horizontal double page spreads into that like vertical space. It's pretty terrible. And there is whenever I do post like a double page spread, I always say you can right click on the image and view it in a new tab. So I always make sure to say that, but I know that those people, they're like, man, what is that? I can't see. I try to zoom in, but man, I tell you, if I had a lot of money, I would totally hire a web designer so he could do it. But it's going to pay off someday. When it's in print, you're going to open it and you'll be like, oh my gosh, I never saw that before. So
what is the plan for print? Is there a plan yet? Are you thinking about it? Well, obviously you're thinking about it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, that's the end goal. I actually got approached by a publisher to publish Space Mullet. I can't say who it is, but we're kind of going back and forth. So that's a possibility. But if that doesn't pan out, eventually I'll probably go to Kickstarter just to fund the creation of the book, at least for the first 4 chapters, because I like the idea of having a big 180 hardbound book, something that people can kind of be proud of. Or it'd be not proud of, but enjoy having in their home. I just flipped through, I love flipping through the 25-cent bins, but those little floppies that they never see the light of day, it kind of makes me really sad. And I know one cool thing about Kickstarter is that I know that the people who are buying or putting money towards a book to get printed, it's they want it so bad they're willing to support me before it's even made, and I know that they're going to treasure it for the rest of their comic collecting career. So I really like that aspect of it, but I'm still not sure. Basically, I don't have time to figure it out right now. Eventually I will, but it's just one of those things, man. I'm trying to make the story, and I'm seeing Space Mullet be 20 chapters long, something like 1,200 pages. And I don't want to leave people hanging, so I want to keep making the story and keep creating content. And what ends up happening is I end up with 200 pages of content and have no plans for anything. Something will happen eventually. I'm just not sure what.
Do you have I think Brian K. Vaughan has talked about it a couple of times, where he has the beginning and then he has the last page planned out. So you have this long form story. Do you have an idea how you want to end it, and you're kind of working towards that, or?
I do. I have a fairly clear idea of how I'm going to end Space Mullet. It's going to be pretty epic. There'll be a black hole involved. That's all I can say. When creating story, I never start by just writing a script. It's always visual for me. So I'm thinking of the most ridiculous or the most coolest or some sort of situation that's going to be a key frame or a key moment. The most visually powerful climax that's breaking, in the story. I know that like I have like a concept art book of like all the Matrix movies, and before they would finalize the script, the Wachowski brothers, if I'm pronouncing their name right, would commission artists to create like keyframes. So remember, like in the last Matrix movie, the hand, all the Sentinels like make that huge hand. When they all come into that big hangar, and they're like and like the robots are fighting, and the Sentinels are coming up, and the Sentinels make this like gargantuan hand. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So like something like that, I'm like, okay, that has to happen. And I start mapping out these different parts of Space Mullet. Like, okay, this cool thing needs to happen here, and this needs to happen there. And all of this, and then the rest of it is problem solving. How am I going to get from this island of storytelling of what I want to happen to the next island and so on? It's just building a bridge between those, and that's how I start formulating my story. So I have one way out for the ending. It's just very far away.
It's kind of cool, especially as you've gone through, I guess, the 4 issues. The character design, like, it's almost like a ton of different influences, especially in the character designs. Because even Jonah himself is kind of cartoony. And then, I mean, I love the, like, thugs for Slope, his thugs, like, with those masks.
Yeah.
So what are your influences, I guess, on this character design? Because, I mean, you're working with all creator-owned characters. I mean, these are all out of your head, right?
Yeah. Well, those gangsters, that's kind of like my love letter to Tarantino, I think. He's always got those guys in suits doing something bad, and I've always loved that. And they're easy to draw. So there's basically laziness that got me into that. But as far as like all the other characters and stuff, I'm my own worst critic when it comes to character designs. I always over design, and then having to draw them over and over again, I want to shoot myself,
Right.
I don't know. I mean, like, for Jonah, I remember specifically, I was at, like, a church meeting once, like, after a church meeting, talking about finances, and I was really bored. And my church had this thing, it's, like, really silly. It's, like, pretty intense talking about church finances, like, kind of, like, it was all amicable, but, like, talking about money in any sort of public setting is never fun. To make it, like, less intimidating, they had all the men for the previous 2 months dress up and like grow mullets in the church. I go to like a hipster church. What can I say? And they had this logo of like this it was just a white screen with the hair and a mustache and glasses. That was it. It's like super hipster mullet. I was like, that's it. My character has to have a mullet. And from then on, like I had designed Alphius like a year before. And he made his way into Space Mullet because I was like, man, I'm going to design a cool alien sidekick. This is what he's going to be. So it's basically pulling from, I've got like 20 sketchbooks now, and I just start flipping through sketchbooks and figure out what looks cool. And sometimes I get ideas, sometimes I get stuck. So, and then I look at a lot of Appleseed manga by Masamune Shiro.
Yeah.
I'm also probably spelling or pronouncing his name wrong, but my large kind of cyborg character who looks kind of like a cricket, he's got that like thing sticking out of his head. Mm-hmm. That's totally like, again, like my love letter to like Briareos. I love Briareos. Every time I look at Briareos in the Appleseed, I'm always like, Shiro, I wish I was you so I could call that character mine, but I can't.
So, you have a lot of, I think, it looks like different influences in your work. Because even like in that first issue, she doesn't have a name yet, but the young girl alien they find, like, total, like, felt like Dragon Ball Z moment. And then, so what are some of your influences? Because I think even from 1, 2, 3, and 4, it's kind of, I felt like, I don't want to say gotten better because the first one's good, but like completely almost altered.
You'll notice, like, my character, like, from page 1 of chapter 1 to page whatever in the latest chapter, they look completely different. Like, my characters look completely different. And it's just me, like, you look at the first strip of Calvin and Hobbes compared to the last one, and Calvin looks completely different. So part of that is just me getting better as an artist and not sucking so much, when I started, I didn't know how to use a T-square, so that's kind of embarrassing. But I was like, what is this for? Oh, I get it. I got it. Okay. Sorry, I'm opening a beer real fast. I hope that's okay.
Yeah.
That was
Okay.
fine.
But as far as like actual influences, definitely like Appleseed is a huge one. Kind of more intimate storytelling of like Firefly is definitely a huge part of how I construct my stories as far as the narrative goes. And then more visuals like the looseness of kind of Bill Watterson, Sean Gordon Murphy.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, that guy is so freaking good. He's like, sometimes I'll look at his DeviantArt page before I start my day, like drawing, and I'll be like, okay, I crack my knuckles. I'm like, all right, here we go. I'm gonna someday. Just wait. I'm gonna be as good as you someday, but today is
he's
not
insane.
that day. And he's so fast.
Yes.
He does most of those pages in a day.
I also
Yeah.
like that, what's that? Frankie Avella? This dude just posted things on Twitter, like, he's like, oh, I just did this real quick.
Yeah, and you're like, what the heck? Ugh.
What do you read for comics? I guess, like, what are you reading right now?
Oh, man. Saga. I'm definitely reading Saga. Every once in a while, Fiona Staples will draw a scene of a character, like, having a certain emotion, and it's so good, it almost pulls you out of the story. Because it's like, I know that face. Like, I have seen my loved ones make that face at me,
Mm-hmm.
I just love that. It's so amazing. Whenever Hellboy in Hell comes out, I pick that up, which is not very often.
I think it's only like on issue 5 right now. It's well worth the wait usually.
Oh my gosh,
Well worth it.
so good. I gotta ask, how old is your kiddo? Your new kiddo?
Will be 4 months in a couple weeks.
Oh my gosh, congratulations!
Thank you. Yeah,
How's your sleep schedule?
mine's alright. My wife's isn't as good. She tends to be the one that gets up. But
Okay. Sorry, deviating off track. Sorry.
No, that's fine.
Comics to babies. Well, it fits Saga and new babies, I guess.
He's named after a comic, so his name's Winter. It's after Winter Soldier, so he's pretty much doomed.
That is awesome.
a loser or geek or I don't know what. So.
No, man, that's badass.
Winter's a fucking great name, dude.
Me and Brent have talked. My biggest fear is that he's gonna grow up and hate comics. I guess that's a bigger fear, but like hate comics and like be this like big, scary guy that just like comes in and like rips my comic books and like
bullies you.
What are you doing, nerd? And just like kicks my stuff. But
Dad, stop being such a loser. God, I'm late for my football game.
yeah, I guess that or a bigger fear, or he would just be me, which would be great for me. But...
It's probably good.
I don't have kids, but that is one thing. I'm really interested to see what I do want to have kids someday, but when I do have kids, I'm really interested to see what like they're going to be into. It's probably going to be, like you said, like something completely out of left field, like quantum mechanics or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough because you like, especially when they're young, they don't really care. So like, it's kind of weird seeing all of the like outfits they have for kids are essentially targeted towards adults.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he has like tons of Ninja Turtle stuff, but it's all I guess targeted towards me, less him. But yeah, I mean, I guess my dad liked cars and I hate cars, so I don't know. So it'll work out. Brent's expecting to, and we announced that, right, Brent?
Yeah, we know.
Dude, congratulations to you.
Thank you very much.
He got his one
your
word.
package coming? Sorry.
Right now the expected date is like September 15th, so it's still real early. Yeah, we're looking forward to it though.
That's awesome. Holy crap.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
I'm like scared to have a kid. So you're brave.
Really? Nah,
Well,
man. There's no fear. If you got a good wife by your side, she's gonna, like Kyle, you just make her do all the work and then you're set. That's all you need.
I think my wife's making me cupcakes tonight, which will be pretty sweet.
That's pretty close to having
That's
a kid,
awesome.
actually. You're almost there.
I think you're better off because if you have a kid and your wife's not making you cupcakes, That's not happening.
Yeah. I remember getting cupcakes before this whole thing, so you're doing good.
Oh man. No, but now I'm a fat ass though. When I got married to her, I was like 160, 165. Now I'm like 216 or something like that.
See, the trick is to come in as the fat ass, and then you're golden, because you can only just get fatter, and that's just status quo, really.
Oh man. Oh, anyway, sorry, comics. Blah. So Hellboy in Hell, and then, I'll try new stuff all the time, but the book that I'm most excited about now, Prophet. I love Prophet, but my most excited book right now is the BPRD run right now with James Herron.
That's the second week in a row we've had mentioned that. Yeah, it's a good run.
Yeah, I mean, the newest issue came out today, and man, dude, oh my gosh.
Yeah, James Herron's a beast.
He is. He's so... Again, these are the creators that I look at, and I'm like, okay, I have to step up my game, because they're so darn good.
I don't really want to ask too many questions. I don't want to give stuff away. Like, it's almost... Like, everyone should go read it. It's at spacemullet.com. I mean, it's almost a crime that you're not charging for it. And there's no way people can get money to you, right?
No, I had one guy send me like $25 on PayPal for Christmas. He's like, hey man, you do good work. Here you go. And I was like, oh, thank you.
Do you do prints or anything?
Every once in a while I'll make like screen prints, because I always feel weird. I've sold like digital prints to people, but it's just like, I never love the way they come out. Like, they look good, like anybody would say, oh, that's sweet. But the way the digital printing looks, I mean, at least where I do it, it does not look that great. So when I make prints now, I screen print my stuff. So, yes, but only at shows. I don't know. I should basically get off my butt and do more of them so I can sell them online. But
yeah, dude, you deserve something for the amount of work you put in this. Like, if we can get people to go to it, like, your double page spreads are amazing. So you definitely deserve something.
Oh,
anything, man.
Thank you. And it's not the only thing I'm working on now. Like, now I just got put on a Dark Horse book, which is
really?
great.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Congrats, man. That's awesome.
Dude, I'm so excited. I can't.
What book is it? Can you say?
No, I can't say yet.
Do you know when it's going to be coming out, or when you're going to start working on it?
I've already started working on it. I'm about halfway through the pencils of issue 1.
Right on.
Can you type it in the Skype chat?
What's that?
Can you type it into the Skype chat?
Well, like, I would, but you guys wouldn't even know what it is, because it's like...
What about the writer? Can you say the writer?
Dude, I can't say the writer either! Oh. Sorry, I had...
Oh, man, that's great, though.
I've been listening to podcasts
Oh, yeah, that's
for like
awesome,
2
man.
years, and all the guys are like, hey, I'm working on something, but I can't talk about it yet. And I'm like, oh, damn you! But now I'm that guy.
Yeah.
But it'll be announced at C2E2. At least that's what they're telling me.
Well, cool. When is that? When is C2E2?
The last weekend in April.
Oh, that's soon, man.
Cool. Right on. Oh, yeah, that's really soon. I think that's all the questions we have.
Okay.
Do you want to plug anything else, or just... It's space-mullet.com.
Yep. You have a website, too, right?
Anything else to plug?
I have a website. It's... my website's more like... I do a lot of, like... I do some commercial... Like, more client commercial work for, like, bigger companies, like storyboards. But then I also have some concept art, some covers up there, and that's at DanielWarrenArt.com. And Warren is 2 R's, E-N. So W-A-R-R-E-N.
I'll link.
We'll link all this stuff. Yeah, from the show notes. Daniel, dude, thanks for coming on, man.
Oh, yeah, cool.
This is awesome. It's a lot of fun.
My Twitter handle, too.
Oh, yeah. Do you have it?
At Daniel Warren Art.
And it's Mondays and Thursdays, right? Every week.
Yeah. I'm behind now. I still need to ink a page for tomorrow, so I'm like, gotta light a fire under it. But yeah, no, it was a blast. Thanks a lot for talking with me. I hope I didn't talk too long about
No, man, that was great.
No, man, this was awesome, dude. Well, we definitely have to bring you back on when the Dark Horse book gets
Oh,
announced.
of course.
That's super exciting, man.
Oh, I'd love to. Yeah, you guys seem like cool guys.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks,
Yeah.
man.
Go check it out, spacemullet.com.
Good luck with the babies.
RWG rhymes with geek every time they speak the same time each week. It's the group bent on airwave domination, the secret organization. Who we be? Radioactive weapons grade, burning up the airwaves like gamma rays. Wouldn't like us when we're angry about comics, so allow us to pontificate. Flying in the sky in the triskelion, from the Lantern Corps to the mutant rebellions. With a megaphone, people want we're telling them a new era's about to begin. In comics podcasting, broadcasting to the masses. Long lasting, blasting into your face with the geek culture, cause you know that the love's everlasting. RWG rhymes with geek, and it's time that we speak same time each week. From the infinite worlds to the 616. It's a podcast that's back in the mix with the RWG. Rhymes with geek, and it's time that we speak same time each week. From Krypton to upstate New York. Rhymes with geek, now it's time for the show. What?
Were you interviewing Brahm Rebel?
We did last week, yeah.
Was that like a spoken one or a typed one?
That was a recorded one.
Spoken
Okay.
one, yeah.
How'd
At
that
least
one
you got
go?
his name. Oh, well. Except I fucked up his name.
Yeah.
But
After, dude, he tells Kyle, he's like, yeah, it's Brahm Revel, and Kyle's like, okay, cool, thanks, Brahm. Instantly.
Dude, I got,
I was
well,
like, oh, no.
you get it in your head, like I read it so long as Bram,
Oh,
and then we
totally.
said Brahm.
Oh, dude, it's tough with these names, man. Everyone's got weird names, and all the comic book characters have weird names and shit, and it's like, you constantly are, because in your head it's something else. It's like with Game of Thrones, too, like, I didn't say any of those characters' names correctly. I just found out when I watched the
I was at a
show.
party and I totally said Geoffrey instead of Jeff. I called Jeff Darrow that. I was like, hey, Geoff. He's like, it's Jeff.
I did that for, I don't know how long, the lead singer of Thursday. I always thought his name was Geoff. It's just
Dude.
Jeff.
Thursday? Oh my gosh, that takes me back. It's like high school.
Yeah, sadly.
War all of the time.
Ah, yeah.
Dude.
That was all of our high school, man.
Holy crap.
Yeah, I got a full class, like the typical, like, high school, I, like, bought full class the day it came out and just, like, sat in my bed. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this is everything I'm thinking about.
That and Taking Back Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
yep.
cute without the E, cut from the team. That
I
was
just-
my jam.
They just, like, they just put that CD out, like, acoustically, that whole original.
Of course they did.
It's so weird when you see these guys singing these songs and now
Yeah.
they're old.
Yeah.
And it's like, you can't still sing about this stuff, but
What?
I guess you can forever, right?
Just gotta.
Blink-182 does
Yeah.
it. They're old as fuck right now.
But
So.
Blink-182, they managed to keep some of the charm. Like, I just recently I like have a free Spotify account, and I've been kind of going back and kind of exploring my old haunts of what I used to listen to.
Dude, Spotify's the best, man. It's the best. It's so embarrassing, but it's the best.
Well, I started listening to Simple Plan. Remember those guys? And I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
I really loved them back like freshman year of high school. And I'm listening to them, and almost all of the bands that I listened to on Spotify that I used to listen to in like middle school or high school, I'm like, okay, you know what? They're not terrible. Like, I can see why I was into this. I was listening to Simple Plan, and I'm like, this is so bad. Like, I cannot find any sort of redeeming quality about this music whatsoever.
Oh, it's the worst, man. You want to go in that private browse, that private
They
mode
have
where they
that?
can't see what you're listening to.
Oh.
Yeah, dude, you can go into like private.
I
Yeah,
did
or
that
some
the other
shit,
day
yeah.
listening to,
I
I remember
refuse.
buying,
Oh,
what's
yeah,
that one
dude.
Limp Bizkit CD? It was the one before that Hot Dog, I don't know.
$3 bill, y'all, or I
Yeah,
don't know.
the one after that. I
Yeah.
remember buying it and being like so excited and just listening to it recently. This is garbage.
Oh yeah, you got a private
I
browse.
refuse.
that
That
works
was
for sure.
Private browse. Everyone shares in my fucking misery.
Well, it shows up on Facebook, right?
Yeah, they love to post it on Facebook, man. Especially when you listen to something embarrassing. It's like the first thing they
Well, that's
post.
now with the
That's
kid.
too far. I don't link Facebook.
The
That's
kid, we got like all Disney and like a lot of like Boys to Men and Michael Jackson. It puts him to sleep. I don't get that coming up.
Oh, well, and you always have that one, like, pretentious guy who's like, oh, you were listening to Simple Plan back then. I'm like, yo, hey, take it easy, alright? We all made mistakes.
That's how I feel browsing Brent's. Brent posts a lot of like cat pictures on his Facebook.
I love cat pictures, man.
So not everybody else does.
But they should. That's the problem.
You guys remember, like, AOL, like, AIM? Like,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
my username was Good Charlotte Fan 4444.
Oh, that's so embarrassing, man. That's so embarrassing. That's rough. Dude, I feel like if I signed on to AIM, I think I would still have people like on there.
I did it. I did like
I
three.
feel like
I remember doing it
someone would
like
be
3 years ago, and I don't think anyone was on. But I didn't realize it still worked. Well, me and you went through. Remember we did that live journal thing?
Oh yeah, we went to
We
our
read
live
some
journals.
on the
Yeah,
cast
that
like
was
a year ago.
tough.
Live journal.
Oh, that was tough,
I
man.
had a live journal in high school, and I was basically going through a straight edge phase. So I'm looking at my live journal, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I sound like such a tool.
Oh god. Yeah, do you still have it up, you
It's
think?
somewhere.
Ah, that's the worst, man. You gotta find it. I deleted it. I took it down. I saved everything though, all the files, just in case, you never know. You want to look back
You guys
at
remember, like, using,
mistakes.
like, you got your Good Charlotte playing, and then, like, you hear the queen, where, like, somebody from AIM would, like, come online, and it'd be, like, a girl you're
Yep.
crushing on, and she's like, "Wait." It's like, oh my gosh, she's online, alright. I gotta wait a few minutes,
Just
I
turn
gotta
up.
wait, like, 30 seconds before I, like, say, hey, what's up?
Yeah. Not right away, man. Just
Yeah.
gotta know.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. Oh god, in the passive aggressive away messages they'd always put up when you're like in a fight with them or something.
Yes.
Like,
Or you put things up
that's
like
the
to
worst.
get them to talk to you. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, don't bother me. She's like, what's wrong? There
With the profile, like, it was always, like, who could put, like, the coolest, most, like, unique, original thing in their profile, you could have the quotes in there and stuff.
the lyrics.
Oh, dude. I have not thought about this for, like, a year, at least.
Maybe we should bring it back. Let's bring back AIM. I feel like it's time.
What if you could do?
I was wondering, do you think kids know what ASL means when you ask for age, sex, location? Do you think if you went in a chat room and you're like ASL, is there chat rooms anymore? I don't even know if they exist
I'm not
anymore.
even gonna lie, I did not know what you just said. Like, ASL, what is that?
It's what you, like, if you're in, like, one of those random AOL chat rooms, you'd say ASL, and it means age, sex, location. So, like, they'd put, like, 18 female, New York, or whatever.
Wow. Oh, man.
You never did that?
Well, unless
Oh,
they were
man, I used to-
controversial, then they would say like 18, yes, and then their location.
Oh, yeah. No, I used to love those chat rooms, man. You get the weirdest fucking people in those chat
I
rooms.
bet. I never went. I was homeschooled, so I had kind of a sheltered.
Alright.
Yeah,
you
one
might
of
have
those
missed it.
guys.
Probably for the best.
But those homeschool kids are usually the worst, though. They're usually the ones that are trying to fucking get in trouble online.
Every once in a while, you have, like, a rebel homeschooler who's like, I'm gonna burn everything.
Yeah.
And I grew up in Massachusetts, so homeschooling was not popular. So,
No, probably
it's like if you're in Texas or Wisconsin, it's like homeschooling, yeah, no big deal. But Massachusetts, no way, man. Well, what? We are public educators here. But then the reactionary right to all the leftist kind of public leanings of Massachusetts, got some really wild childs, in Massachusetts. But you guys probably don't want to talk about homeschooling and AIM all night. So I should probably let Also, I haven't anything to drink, and I'm like already 3/4 of the way through my beer, so. Anything to eat,
Go get those
anything to
cupcakes,
eat,
man.
anything to eat, sorry. Anyway, what happened?
Alright,
Yeah.
So I'll
Thanks,
send
man.
you this, and then we'll put it up on Twitter. Like we'll tag you and all that stuff.
Oh, thanks,
Okay.
man. Yeah, this way everybody can really hear how nasally my voice really is.
You're talking to the king of nasally. Don't worry, man.
hopefully your son will be more of a, hey, how's it going?
Every time, yeah. Really hope.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for taking
All right,
the time.
thanks,
No problem.
dude.
Thanks, it was great.
Rose. Yeah. Don't hesitate to reach out anytime.
All right, man.
See you later.
Later.